All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to the June 6, 2024 agenda for the Town of Tyngsborough Planning Board. From our right, we'll introduce
I'm Pamela Berman.
Jeremy Baldwin.
Kimberly O'Brien.
Steve O'Neill.
Dave Robson.
Chaz Dowdy.
David Nader with TEC.
All right, we're gonna skip to item 3, permit extension, 93 Kendall Road. Request for a 2-year extension to the special permit issued on March 15, 2023, and expiring on March 15, 2025. Good.
Good evening. Thank you for taking me out of order. Appreciate that. Dave Williams with Storage and Distribution Group. I was in front of this group late 2022, finishing the hearing in March of 23. Since then, we've been working with the state, first with the state and the town, to secure the MassWorks grant to handle the road work improvements, which we're successful in doing. And then from there, we've been working with the state DOT, working on our approval for all of the road improvements for the project and the MassWorks grant, as well as the improvements on the park and ride, where we're expanding it. The process has been, we've been working with Van Ness Associates, submitting drawings, first 25%, they go through it, then 50, then 75, we're at the 100% drawing stage, so we're close. Our expectation is we should have our permits from the state in late July, early August. And our hope is to start construction probably around September on the road work. Because of all of this, we're looking at where we stand and starting the project after that work is done, which will be the spring of 25. And that's when our special permit that we received from this board will expire. So we're in the process of extending our contracts and all of that. So we want to make sure we have all of our permits secured a little bit longer, because this process has taken longer than we thought.
Okay. Jeremy, questions?
I just saw that it was, on here it says 2 years, but on the letter it says 1 year extension. What are you requesting for the extension?
2 years. Let's got the letter wrong.
I think, yeah, in the letter it says for a period of 1 year, right?
Yeah.
Special permits are good for 2 years. This permit expires March 23rd of 25. So if you want to extend it another 2 years, it would be to March of 27. Or you could just do 1 year. It's highly up to you, but I would recommend 2 years.
I was just curious because you were saying that it started, that you're going to likely start around summer of 2025, but I know things get kicked out.
Yep.
Any reason for 2 versus 1? I'm just...
We can go either way.
Okay.
You know, we're in a little bit of an uncertain economy and all of that, and the less risk we can take out of our permits, the better. If you guys can grant 2 years, that would be better, but.
Once they start work, they're all set
Yeah.
as far as needing an extension. So as soon as the shovel goes in the ground, they're good.
Do we know what is it when you break ground that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's not when you commence the road work, or is that? Do we know if that's when it would
Once
be?
they start the road work,
That's when it would.
affect
Almost
Part of
like
the
think like Flint's Corner, kind of that whole
Yep.
deal. Okay.
all over again.
You had to bring that up?
Sorry.
All set?
I'm all set.
Kim?
I don't have any questions, thanks.
Okay.
I'm on the same page with the question of 1 year or 2 years. We're a very simple board to deal with.
Yep.
I would probably lean more towards the 1 year.
And I'm fine with
Just
that.
for,
Yep.
Because it still gives you till 2026.
Sure.
Which, and then, come right back in front of us. You guys have been very good.
Yep.
Hopefully, we've been the same for you guys,
Yep,
so.
absolutely.
Okay. Yep, that's it.
Jazz?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with 1 year.
Yep.
So if,
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to extend the special permit issued on March 15th, 2023 by 1 year for 93 Kendall Road.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Good luck.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
appreciate it.
Hopefully you're built before the end.
That
Yeah,
will be
thank you for coming in, though.
1
Appreciate
year
it.
beyond the current expiration of 25, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Thanks, Pete.
All right, moving on. We have an A&R, 250 Middlesex Road, map 20, parcel 38-0, application for approval of lots not subject to subdivision control law review, A&R plan of land dated 5/1/24. Dave?
I had no real comments, other than just appeared that the creation of a subdivided lot resulted in less on-site parking, but it seems like there's plenty off-site parking that is still associated with that, the lot that is currently there today. It's within the 500 feet of the bylaws to allow for common parking areas. Don't have much more than that. It's straightforward.
So,
All
Mr.
right.
Chair, through you, our town engineer, Jake Zwicker, offered the following comments. The A&R for 250 Middlesex Road is to subdivide the parcel into 2 lots. If approved, the Littlefield Library will be on its own lot. This will allow the town to deed restrict the Littlefield Library as requested by the Massachusetts Historic Society and be able to receive a grant reimbursement.
And the new lot behind it for, what are they, any decision on the lot behind it?
No, there are no decisions or talks about what the
But the
purpose
town
of the
will
lot
still-
is. They're only subdividing it for this reason.
The town will still retain ownership, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Jeremy?
I was just curious about the frontage, everything looks good, and,
Yep.
I'm good?
Just wondering why they gave it so little parking.
I don't think the parking had
Think-
been,
Once it, if anything goes in there, it's gonna have to come before us and meet the parking. 'Cause
Right.
It will no longer be grandfathered once it's moved and
Right, I don't
once
think
they
that-
subdivide it, so,
I don't think they've solidified the use yet, so the parking
right.
is not really applicable yet.
So once they do, then they'll have to abide by it or, get some parking from the other parcel. Dave?
Other than the grants, like, what is their purpose for doing this, and where does this leave? Isn't that area all in historic right now? Isn't that part of our?
I thought it was too. I thought the school was part of the historic and.
Yeah, that's why I'm kinda, I guess I'm a little curious as to why now we're looking to do, I understand that you had said something about grants, but I just don't understand why now they're looking to do something after all these years.
Oh, I think it's just for that purpose, just for,
But it's in the historic already, and my understanding was the school was also, right? I mean, we
I
were
don't
just
think that-
discussing all that on that board with what we had to do with the windows and all that stuff if we were to rehab that building.
I think that's all unrelated. They're just separating the lot in order to meet the Massachusetts Historic Society's requirements for whatever grant we've got. And the grant might be related to, I can't even speculate what it is.
They can't get the grant on the whole parcel?
Yeah, whatever grant that they had applied for, in order for them to receive the funds, they have to deed restrict it by subdividing the lot.
Do we know what kind of grant it is? How much it is?
No, I'm not privy to that information.
Just to continue a little bit, there's no way to access this without crossing over the other property to park in the 7 spaces that is left there. Do we know who drew up this, who decided where the lot lines were gonna be?
I think it was Ty and Bond? Can't remember who. No, it was
K&A.
K&A.
Yep.
With, working with our own town engineer.
I'd like some answers to some of these questions before I'm ready to vote on this, to be honest with you. Could we maybe have them come to the next meeting and we can figure out then, or is it time sensitive that it has to be done tonight? Do we know?
No, they have until June 30th, so we could do it at our next meeting.
Isn't there a clock that runs on A&Rs?
Okay, but they're leaving
I
an
don't know.
existing structure or moving a structure. So,
We only have like a certain number of days to respond to an A&R.
I definitely wanna, like,
Look.
be secure that we're not opening the Winslow School up to anything and/or this parcel, so I wanna see some more, at least
Yeah,
someone come in
here's
and
the
talk to us.
comment from Colin regarding David's parking. He said, Colin said, "We don't have anything additional to add on the parking since we'll still be the owner of the site, and the site includes the vacant and not usable Winslow School. There is no change to available parking or demand for parking." That's what he said regarding Dave's comment.
and back to Dave, this meets all the requirements of an A&R?
Here meets the requirements for an A&R, yes.
Mr. Chair, through you,
Yeah.
I'd just like to add on to what Chaz said. I'd prefer getting a better explanation of this. I'm all for grants, as we know, to do this, but just with that Winslow School all of a sudden being separated from this, kind of like a little bit more
Yeah, I don't,
information on it.
that's all I know.
Mr. Chair, through you to Dave, it's less than a half an acre is what they're proposing here. Does that fit in with this district? Or where the ownership doesn't change, is that okay? I'm not sure how that works.
I wanna say yes because I didn't call anything out in my letter, but I can double check on that for you but, I would say, yeah, I would venture to guess, say yes.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I got one for you. Application for approval of lots not subject to subdivision control laws. Why wouldn't it be subject to any subdivision control laws?
I believe that
That's
was,
what an A&R is.
yeah, I think that's what the.
Approval not required, right?
They don't
Yeah,
have to go through the subdivision rules and regs and,
So it meets all the criteria for area, you sure, and
Mhm.
space for that area? Thought we just got rid of a bunch of small lots up there.
I,
So when I look at the state laws about A&Rs, it says that planning boards, when they determine that it does not require approval under the subdivision control law, it should immediately, without a public hearing, endorse the plan approved under the subdivision control law not required. The word's similar to the import. If the planning board determines that the plan requires approval under the subdivision control law, the board must give written notice of its determination to the municipal clerk and the person submitting the plan within 21 days. I knew there was like a time limit.
There is, but also the building has to meet all the setbacks and requirements for parking too, correct? If you're cutting off a piece of land and there's a building on it, you can't leave it undersized or
Basically non-conforming.
non-conforming. Pardon me?
I was gonna say, it does meet the setbacks.
So the building meets all the required setbacks and everything? Okay. Any questions, Jeremy?
I understand where Chaz and Dave are coming from, but I know I've questioned A&Rs in the past, and been worded differently as far as getting our authority on questioning so much of it. So I'm just wondering if, like, this was a private developer coming, or private ownership rather than the town owning this. I can't see a reason for denying it or not passing it, because it has the frontage, it has the setback requirements, so I'm struggling with denying it or
Like I said, my only question I want answered publicly from somebody is that this doesn't affect anything with the Winslow School property. Like, I
In-
guess
in what
now, from being
regard?
in
'Cause
town
it-
my entire life, it's like, why now? So I just like to,
Well, the why now would be because of the
Grant.
Massachusetts Historical Society. I think whatever grant they got has to do with the Littlefield Library, but because the parcel is combined with Winslow School, and that's not part of the grant, they needed to separate out just the Littlefield Library to satisfy the grant. It's got
I think-
nothing to do with,
They can't do anything with the school the way it is, I mean, other than the two
well, that's what
buildings being on
that's
one
what I
lot.
want answered by someone, I guess I'd say,
A&R.
because I don't wanna see this get separated off like this, the next thing you know, we're coming in and that's getting torn down and we're putting up apartment buildings in there.
But
well, that
problem
can't
is that
happen.
an
That
A and
can't
Don't
happen.
ever say can't,
no,
that's what they,
but an A and R, they can, you know, if that's what the town votes on, but an A and R is an A and R, approval not required, so, and if it meets all the setbacks.
Right, we don't get to say no.
And the building does meet the setback, so if it didn't, then it'd be a different story.
I guess I'm not saying a no, I'm saying like
No, I understand why you want more information.
Yeah.
I do too, but at the same time, the box we are in right now is if we either need to say to them, you must come in under the subdivision law, or you don't have to. And therefore, they don't have to, so we have to approve this. But
Well-
we're not approving them to do anything other than subdivide it on paper.
I'd still kind of like to know why they drew this the way they did.
No, I agree, it's not good, because I'd say, come in with an MOU saying you have a right now to access your property, other than walking up to it.
Right. And
Why don't we, if it's the body's wish, there's another meeting, the 20th. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be here, but they have until the 30th, you said, Pam? Maybe we can get clarification from
That's my
the
understanding.
town manager, and he can just send a letter,
and
you know?
is it historical that's in charge of that? Like,
No, it's the select board.
is
Yeah.
in charge of that whole parcel?
It's the town property.
It's town property,
Right,
so,
but
so there's
Isn't it all in
nothing,
the
anything.
historical?
Well, the person before
Person.
us is the select board, it's the town.
Okay,
But it's the select board that must have voted on subdividing it, so. Other than-
I'd appreciate it if we pushed it off to another meeting to get more clarity.
Like I say, I don't believe we can do anything but approve it, but I'm willing to put it off till the 20th and see if somebody can come in and
Let's-
clarify it.
let's talk about the 20. Do we have anything else coming up, Pam, that you see on the radar other than 130 Middlesex?
No.
Because if you're not here,
They're probably not gonna,
and you've recused yourself from 130,
You're not
the
gonna
three
have
of
a
us
quorum.
can't approve it,
okay.
or disapprove
You're not gonna
it.
have a quorum to
1:30.
vote.
We won't have
Well-
a vote
For
Honest,
1:30.
for 130.
yeah,
But this, we're talking
1:30
about
isn't gonna be on, but then if you just come in just for this, my whole thing is,
meeting might get canceled.
I understand what it states and
Yeah.
what we have to do, but like I said, my
I
biggest
don't-
curiosity is, I understand the grants and all that, but it's like,
but that, you know.
we've gotten grants for that place already. They did the roof and all that stuff on it.
I think that
Yeah,
came
but
from
Dave,
CPC.
That went CPC?
All I'm
Okay.
saying is, we're here for the A and R.
Yep.
And if it meets all the criteria, then, you know, it's approved. What the town decides to do with it, whether they have to go to the town or not, that's up to the town.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Okay. Well, let's vote on it then. Mr.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion. I'd like to make a motion to approve the A&R for 250 Middlesex Road, approved under the subdivision control law not required.
Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. All those opposed? Hearing none,
I'll abstain.
I'll abstain also.
okay.
How many ayes? How many ayes? do we
3,
Do a roll call.
have? Roll call. Jeremy
3 ayes,
Baldwin.
2 abstain.
Aye.
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 2
Abstain.
abstentions.
Abstain.
Okay. That still passes.
Yep.
All right, moving on. You're all set, Dave?
And you guys have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very
David.
much, good to see you.
Go back to item number 1 to take care of that continuance.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to continue 130 Middlesex Road to our next meeting on June the 20th.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none? Motion
Okay,
passes.
so we've just continued this to the 20th, but didn't we just say we're not gonna have enough people here to vote on the 20th?
Yeah.
Correct.
So should we move it to August or July, whatever that's gonna be? Because we won't meet on the 4th.
And I'm not here that, no, I am here, that second time,
I don't think I'm here.
in July.
So it'll be the 18th would be the next one for July if you're
Yeah.
not, well, the
Which
4th
we-
we're definitely not
We
doing.
received a new application for a special permit modification for that meeting.
For the June 20th?
No, for July 18th.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, so we're gonna continue it to July 18th.
Okay.
Do you wanna amend the motion?
Yes, I'd like to make amend the motion to continue 130 Middlesex Road to the meeting on July 18th.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Motion passes. Discussion, 147 Cross Road. They were invited in, right, Pam?
Yes, they were invited in. You've got some correspondence in your packets. The project received site plan approval on November 1st of 2018 to expand its parking area to 250 spaces, construct 1 basketball court and 1 playground area. If you see in your email that Eric and Emily reached out to them to find out the status. We didn't hear anything until this afternoon, and we heard from Ben Osgood from Ranger Engineering. He visited the site this morning and agreed that their items aren't finished. He spoke to Naveen, who is the applicant owner of the site. There wasn't enough money at the time to finish the work, and I remember this back when there was COVID, because this came, I think we talked about this back in 2020 or whatever, and that was when he had first said that he didn't have any money because, you know, nothing was happening because of COVID. So, when they can raise the money, they'll come back to the board to get a new permit to finish the work. That's essentially what they're saying. The good news, he said, was stormwater improvements were done before the pavement expansion, the sport court, playground, et cetera, and that would contribute to an increase in stormwater runoff. Since the ponds are done, there will be minimal amount of disturbance to complete the rest of the items. So that's the update. Which is more than we've had in the past.
Jeremy?
Guess I'm confused. Are they just, they've chosen to partially do some of the things? And then what is the whole, come back for another permit type thing? I mean,
Well, I think they probably misunderstand the procedure. They don't have to come back.
right.
But I think we should hold them to the fire and get, like,
Yeah, because I mean.
So
yeah.
what's
You know.
not done out there? The park, are the 250 spaces added?
Trees?
yeah, there's islands and
So they got all the parking
striping and
without the islands?
I think
They've
that,
done nothing in the parking lot
nothing, yeah,
Uh,
at all.
No, they actually did, they did what they wanted to do for the hot top and stuff
yeah.
to benefit them. And while they were doing that hot top is when the island should have gone in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't
But
do
they
the
didn't.
islands, and they didn't do, like, whatever's supposed to be part of the islands.
Just seems very messy, because it's like, I mean, it's like one of those things where they've chosen to do,
So the planning,
Work.
so the next people that go in, gotta get this signed off by the planning board, because it's out there as unfinished. If they decide to do nothing.
Can we get them in here in July at our meeting? Just say, hey, you gotta come in here and talk to us and let us know what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, you can try.
Is this I don't remember the permit we granted, is this a special permit?
Yeah, site plan review.
So we still have control of it. That's what I don't understand. I don't know why they're telling us what they're gonna do when they can do it. They rent to somebody in a dumpster company. I don't know if you've driven by there at all, but they've been renting over there, I don't even know how long, I'm gonna say well over a year, to a guy to keep his trash containers over there. They have functions there every weekend. I don't see why we're waiting for anything.
Yeah, if we can,
And we've been more than, you know,
Yeah, we understand
helpful to
totally.
them. We've done everything, but just like everybody else that's come before us, I mean, you have to complete your work.
right, we'll have to, try one more time, and if not, we'll talk to the town attorney.
Sure.
Conservation has issues with them as well,
Yes.
so,
Maybe, no, I was gonna say maybe do a combined meeting with them, but no, I
We'll
just
gi-
soon
we'll
see
give-
them in front
You
of
know
us.
what, we'll give them one more chance, and then we'll tell the lawyer they refused to come in, or they did come in, or whatever it is, and we'll get his recommendation.
Yep.
From there. Sound good?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, so we'll put them on for the 18th too. Administrative, approval of minutes.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from April 18th, 2024 as written.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. New business topics, the chairman did not reasonably anticipate. Kim?
Just wanted to let everyone know that the town has begun updating the housing production plan, and that's being led by the Affordable Housing Trust. So I'm the chair of the trust, so the planning board's member on that, so we're moving forward with it. And if anybody has any thoughts, concerns, comments, we are open to hearing them.
Sounds good. Any other comment regarding that?
Could you give us an update on what you're working on? No, I'm just kidding.
We are working with NIMCOG, so they're kind of helping us with that.
All right, board reorganization. We're gonna do a board reorganization, I guess. Any nominations for chair?
Well, let's discuss this. Do you want to stay on as chair?
I would if, nobody else.
You're more than happy. I'm
Continue.
whatever. Chaz just asked him if he'd like to stay on as chair. I have no problem if he does, but I have no problem also if Jeremy looked like he was really eager. I seen his head turn to the right really fast. Looking at
Go
Pam.
like this?
Yeah, looking at Pam. So,
I'd like to make a motion to keep Steve O'Neill on as chairman.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? Vice chair? Yeah,
Yeah,
you're welcome.
thank you.
Last time,
Stay on.
guaranteed.
Sure.
I was gonna say, I could step up next year, but not.
Vice chair nomination?
Dave?
So Chaz, I'm Chaz and Jeremy, this is your last chance. Come on.
Any seconds? Second, I'll
Second.
second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you.
Okay, planning board representative to NIMCOG, which I did for years, and then when it went virtual, it was lost out there, so.
Kim took it, right?
Kim,
took it.
you took it, but I
But I
guess we'll
think
do
we
it
just-
officially.
Because we did another election, we have to, yeah, do it.
We'll do it officially, now. Any,
I'd make a motion to have Kimberly O'Brien be the planning board representative to NEMCOG.
do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Have fun, Kim.
Thank you. There's a meeting Thursday night
When,
at 7.
is it when, Thursdays?
So the 18th, will just give us a little update on it?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right,
I'd like to, Mr. Chair, I'd like to remove myself from the zoning bylaw review board, commission, committee.
That was
Zoning
before.
review committee?
And do I have a second? No
You-
second,
well,
sorry, you're off.
Is your, when does your term expire?
I don't
Right
know that it
now-
actually had a term.
Cause, you're still
know.
on it as far as,
Well, when did we start? It's been 3 years anyway.
It's been a while.
Pretty well, that's a long time.
I can check on that one.
They were hoping you forgot.
But I think he just
have a
officially
meeting on-
resigned, so
Well,
They were hoping you forgot.
and then,
I wasn't gonna give it a second, so.
I didn't hear anybody.
Nope.
so we need,
one.
representatives for the CPC, which Chaz is on now,
Which I would like to stay on that.
okay?
So moved. Any objections? Okay,
The Master Plan Implementation Committee, we've got Kim and Chaz.
okay. You stay in there, Chaz? That does-
I'm trying to kind of pull back. It only meets
All
once a
right.
year.
David? Jeremy?
For what?
Well, there's Chaz, well,
You're going-
I'm
you're
gonna
going
follow.
to- you're
For
gonna
who?
follow.
For what? It meets once a year.
according to the notes,
master
there's,
plan.
there's one member and an alternate, so.
Who wants to be the alternate? Jeremy, Dave?
I'm more than happy to take that, yeah.
All right. You know they
So
come
you
in
want-
swarms, so you get the next two, too.
And
Three at a time.
now is Kim gonna stay on as, cause your term is up for that,
She can
Committee.
stay. I think that's just,
okay.
appointed by the chair anyways. And Chaz, you're all set, right? You're all set with Chaz coming off that board, right?
Yeah.
Do we have to nominate another to replace you on the
I
I
zoning
think,
review?
I should check on that before you
Why don't you check
actually
and
go
we'll do it
resign.
in July?
You can check.
Before
on
you
it.
resign, she
Before
said,
you
not checking on
resign,
it. She's not checking on
let me
it.
check on that.
Zoning, do we
You signed a
have,
5-year contract, you know.
Starting to feel that way.
Chaz, we
Have you-
do have a meeting with the zoning review committee on Tuesday, right?
Yes.
So you would not be in that one?
I don't know yet. Chances are I can do that one,
I only ask because I
But I
know
think
you're the chair, so.
but I know. But I've been doing it long enough, and
Yep.
I need to talk to Colin about it too, because I think we're running out of money with the people who are sort of our
Oh.
The Barrett
consultants
group.
on
The
that.
Barrett Group, I think there's, I wanna say there's like 20,000 left, something like that. I just
That's
paid
one meeting.
I think there, it was assumed that it would be like this fall that we would run out.
you would run out, yeah.
Yeah, that's sort of my impression too, but they would seem rather hesitant to take on anything other than just the sign bylaw,
Which is what you're working on now, right?
which is what we're working on now. And it really is, it's out of our purview as the planning board. It's really the ZBA's purview. So at any rate, like I said, and I've been doing it since, as you have, since the beginning. I don't think I've missed a meeting, but I need to start to step back a little bit for some personal reasons, so.
All right,
All right.
entertain a motion. Oh, one more.
I just wanted to inform the board that we received an email from the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities, who reviewed the town's MBTA communities submittal to the state, and they've determined that the town's submittal does support the feasibility of multifamily housing in the MBTA Communities District for the town, which is good news.
Oh, good.
That's all I have.
Now we'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We can go home. Thank you.
Let's go C's.